Capricorn, your week commencing the 4th of August begins with the moon in a delicate part of your chart as the week begins. This could see you having a thoughtful start, but it does forge an energizing angle to the sun. Mercury's Cazimi at the end of last week gave you an opportunity to dive into a situation and really familiarize yourself with it. It may have been around a financial opportunity. It hasn't quite happened potentially. You may still be drilling down and getting more information. It could be around where you're very connected to someone. It may not be about money at all. Maybe more about an emotional investment. Now, by the end of this week in the full moon, if something is out of balance or kilter, it will need addressing. With Black Moon Lilith in the equation, what you want from your future and whether you feel it is going to be met by a current involvement, business plan or financial arrangement is what's really going to come to the fore. But the great news for you is a planet which really has an affinity with the sign of Capricorn, Mars, moves into the 10th house of your chart midweek. The significance of this is the 10th house is an echo of the sign of Capricorn. It's not exactly the same, but there is a kind of redolence. Over the next 6 weeks, that's going to give you a lot more assertion, a lot more thrust. But if there is someone very close to you that has been frustratingly difficult over the last few months, I think you may find yourself much less inclined to cut them a little bit of slack. And you may push back strongly if you feel that someone's being, very moody, very uncooperative, cool, detached. It could be a family member, and your patience may really run very low at the heart of this week. But what can also happen is that if you're wanting to repurpose your approach around how you work or earn money, Mars is linked with Uranus and Pluto is very exciting, very energized. So don't get too caught up in that emotional dimension, because know that Mars is going to really boost your ambitions over the next few weeks. So if the financial side or business side of your situation isn't quite working as you would like, that part of you that has a real understanding of how to structure things, how to manage things, how to squeeze the maximum from whatever you've got is really going to be strengthened, and that can see you come into the fore in a very constructive way. If you are waiting for news on a financial payment, a payout of some kind, because of the retrograde of Mercury in the 8th house, that could be something that also creates a little bit of irritation. But by the end of this week, if you do need to speak to someone, anyone, even that person that may have really rattled your cage at the start or middle of the week, with that Mars Saturn Neptune opposition, as Venus diplomatically aligns with Jupiter towards the end of the week, they're going to become exact in the week following this one. I feel that if you can just use as moderate and harmonizing language as possible, even if underneath that the steel fist in the velvet glove is really pushing forwards with what you truly desire, your diplomacy can actually pay off and be very helpful.